My name is Nick Gates. I'm going to talk about Iste Standard number 5, Engage in Professional Growth and Leadership. This comes from Chapter 5 of A Constructionist Approach to National Education Technology Standards for Teachers by V. N. Morphew. So quick overview here. What is the standard? We'll cover that quick. And then you see there the kind of the four indicators, 5A, 5B, 5C, and 5D. Then at the very end, I'm going to give you my reflection and opinion on this topic and its relevance in the everyday classroom. So let's begin here. What is the standard? Well, it's engage in the professional growth and leadership. The author here really does a good job of saying it's not just about being a lifelong learner of curriculum or a lifelong learner of teacher skills. We have to also now be lifelong learners of technology. As teachers, as part of our job, we have to incorporate technology into the classroom because who knows, if we don't do it for them, we're not sure some of them are going to get it. Some of them can't afford to get it. Others of them are just not going to get that opportunity. Thus, teachers, we have to do it. We have to learn about technology, and we have to be lifelong learners. So if we're going to teach for 30 years, expect to see changes in technology as you go. And if you don't adjust, that's not a good thing. You're not helping yourself, and you're not helping your students. That's why it's important. You know, technology is part of teaching now. Anyone who disagrees, they're living in the Stone Age. It's just not the deal anymore. Technology is a part of it. Technology is in our classroom. Our kids are using technology every day. Look at their smartphones. As teachers, we have to stay relevant. If that means we have to start using smartphones in the classroom, maybe that's what it will be. And some schools are already trying that. But as a teacher, you may have the most knowledge in the world of some subject. But if you can't embrace technology with your knowledge, you're not going to stay relevant. Your kids are not going to get the message, or you're not going to get to a wide majority of kids now that want to receive information or gather information electronically or with technology. That's why this standard is important. Why is this part of history? I like the quote from the book, work smarter, not harder. As teachers, we feel like we work a lot. We need to be smart enough to understand that we need to embrace the technology that will make my classroom easier. I can be a better teacher if I'm not spending time doing this. If I'm not spending time doing this, I'm being more efficient. That's where technology can really come in for teachers. Improve our efficiency in what we do for the benefit of the students, to make our teaching better for them, to make the curriculum better for them. That is why this standard is there. So 5A, participate in local global learning communities to explore creative applications of technology to improve student learning. Well, first of all, PLCs, professional learning communities. Sometimes that scares people. When you think PLCs, think of the big organizations like National Social Studies, National Language Arts. Those are organizations you need to think of and why they're good. Research. They can provide research that says this is working in language arts classrooms. This is working in science classrooms. Then you can bring it into your room and make yourself a better teacher. And if it doesn't work for you, then you're part of the percentage it didn't work for, but at least you tried it. They also provide plenty of conferences you can go to across the country. They give you better preparedness and knowledge, especially as a young teacher saying, these are some ideas for you when you go into the classroom. As we all know, as a first-year teacher or second and third-year teacher, some of the stuff you do is just not going to work. Being part of these PLCs can really help you. They also provide a lifeline of communication, either in person if you're in a conference, but online. There's blogs, there's chat rooms where you can go in and say, I have this problem, and more than likely within a day you're going to get a response back. Someone's going to type in and say, hey, this is what we did to fix that problem, or this is my idea for you. At least it gives you an idea. At least it's going to lead you in some direction to help you as a teacher. Formal schooling, like this class right here. I'm taking a course, I've already learned a couple things, and I'm going, man, in the fall I'm going to try this with my government class. I'm going to try this in my American history class and see if it helps enhance the curriculum for those students. There's also the opportunity of workshops and distance learning. Almost anymore, there's no excuse for a teacher not to learn more about technology if they need to. Some teachers feel like, well, I know enough. Well, it feels like anymore, even me as a young teacher, I don't know enough. I need to learn more, be able to do more with my students and even for myself with technology. Distance learning, why it's becoming so big is time and compatibility. As teachers, we don't want to be out of the classroom. I feel anyway, that when I'm gone, it's a lot more work. And I think almost every teacher feels that way. We want to be here with our students. I'd rather be in the classroom than go into some workshop someday. If I can take something distance learning, if I can take something via the internet, It's on my schedule. It makes me a better teacher, and then I'm still there for my students, so I'm not hurting them, or at least I don't feel like I'm hurting them. Informal communication, teacher-to-teacher learning. At ORD, we had Promethean smart boards installed in. We had teacher-to-teacher learning of those smart boards. It worked for a while. It was really good until teachers saw that it wasn't relevant for them anymore. But teacher-to-teacher learning, in my opinion, is probably the best way for teachers to do this and get better at technology. Social networking. Go out there on Twitter. There's a lot of teachers that you can follow, or Facebook. There's so much good stuff they put out there. If you're on Twitter and you follow some of these teachers, it seems like all they do is put stuff on Twitter all day. If you take one or two good things from there and put it into your classroom, you're learning something and you are participating in this local global community. All right, so 5B, exhibit leadership by demonstrating a vision of technology infused and participating in shared decision making and community building and developing the leadership and technology skills of others. Well, we are leaders. Like it or not, we are leaders in the classroom, schools, communities, and professions. This is actually two parts of this standard. We are examples for the students in everything we do. If we use technology, they're more likely to use technology. Some teachers are not going to be instant leaders. Some teachers are not going to buy in to every new technology thing. And sometimes that's good to have the skeptic out there. But eventually, we have to lead other teachers and lead our students into using technology that's appropriate and good for our curriculum. Technology also gives you good ideas on how to interact with students and the community, and for you to network with other teachers. You can create a huge impact by networking with another school. Here's the example. If your school doesn't allow Facebook, you talk to a teacher who does allow Facebook. You bring that into your classroom and say, hey, principal or administration, I want to try this. Will you let me? And if they do, and they go, well, that's not actually a bad idea, you might change the whole community and school's outlook on using Facebook in the classroom. That's huge. That's being a leader, even though that wouldn't maybe be called a leader. You also then provide support. If you have the leadership, you can support students in using technology. You can support other staff in using technology. You can help them. That's a key part of this technology idea. If there's someone there to help you, you're more likely to actually do it. Now, 3 strategies for technology infusion. I really like these. The first one kind of cracks me up a little bit. College faculty to infuse technology into teaching and learning. We can all remember hour-and-a-half lectures in college. As teachers going into their first year, if they have experience with technology, they are more likely to use it in their classroom. If they don't use it, they're not going to use it. If you just tell them about it, they're not going to spend the time playing with it and trying to figure out how to use it. If they're forced to use it for an assignment, then they're going to take it in their classroom. That's a key thing. Integrate technology standards into professional development. That's what Iste is trying to do. And then build teacher confidence in technology. Help teachers when they use it. That teacher to teacher, that working together, that providing that support for each other. Now, successful technology integration. And it's kind of 4 steps here. Customize professional level. Like I talked about with our teacher-to-teacher thing, it would have been nice when we were doing the Promethean boards for someone to say, all right, this is what will work well for English. This is what will work well for social studies. This is what will work well for science. We didn't have that, but customizing professional development technology will make things better. Provided needed computer connectivity. Going one-to-one is great, but if your internet in the school can't handle it, you're no longer one-to-one. It's not going to work. Teachers got to use technology on their own. There are some teachers I know that as summer starts, they don't even want to use their email. That's the wrong way to look at it. And then schools got to put their money where their mouths are and commit funds to it. We have to be willing to put money into this to help teachers and students with technology. 5C, evaluate and reflect on current research and professional practices on a regular basis to make effective use of existing emerging tools and resources in support of student learning. Reflection is key to being an effective teacher in the classroom. It's not just with technology. Every day as a teacher, you should be asking yourself, what went well today? What didn't go well? What can I change? What can I do better? How can I reach more students? How can I reach student X? That's what's important. Teachers must be persistent in incorporating technology. If it doesn't work the first time, don't bail on it. Try it in a different class. Try it in a different lesson. Try it with different material. You'll probably find a way to use almost any technology that people are telling you to use in a classroom if you're persistent with it. Also, it will help the students the more they use it, and it won't be as difficult for you to use it the next time. Questions to ask during the reflection. Now, I'm not going to go over all of these, but I like what collaboration techniques and tools could I use next time to improve my teaching effectiveness? I really like that question because now we are living in a collaborative society when it comes to education. We have the ability for an upper level student to help lower students rise up. It also provides the opportunity for upper level students to get into those higher levels by teaching, being the teacher for us and helping other students, and then showing us as teachers different ways that we can do things. That's why collaboration is so important and why it's really the future of education. I like reflective journaling, peer journaling. A couple of teachers get together, talk about what they did each day, talking about different lessons, and then if you put it on the internet, other teachers will help you and say, I would have tried this, I would do this a different way, or I really like this, I'm going to take this from my classroom. There are plenty of blogs out there for you to follow and look at and go to find different lesson plans, different lessons, different technology that you can use in your room. It'll also help you build portfolios. It'll also lead you to other tools and other apps that you might want to use in your room. And then it will actually help you in that reflection process. Say, maybe I'm going to try this next time. I'm going to go with this tool instead of that other tool. 5D, contribute to the effectiveness, vitality, and self-renewal of the teaching profession and of their school and community. Teaching is a service industry. We give ourselves. It's our time. We are providing a service for our community and for those students. That is our job, like it or not. We have to give back. That is, it's not a 9-to-5 job. People think we're here from 8 to 4. That's not the case. We're working a lot longer than that in the school building or when we go home. We are giving back to the school, to the community, and ultimately to society because we are educating the next generation of students. That's why I like the quote down here. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. That's why teachers are leaders, because we are getting that next generation of leaders, of teachers, of firefighters, police officers. And our next generation is being educated by us. We also have the chance to be philanthropists, giving up our time, our talent, our treasure. For example, this book had a great example as a teacher. If you know how to use the technology, you can teach other people in your community how to use it, and it can help a local business. That's great philanthropic work right there. Professionalism, most of the time we talk about the lack of professionalism. The media focuses on that. That is, part of our profession. And maybe the bad part of our profession is when people don't act like teachers or they do something irresponsible as a teacher, that's what people focus on. It's not all the good things we do. So we have to be professional at all times. And our actions around the school are followed by students. If they see you using technology, if they see you doing something wrong, they're going to think of it both ways. So we have to be leaders in that fashion. So now some reflections on this chapter. I think this is the hardest to measure of the 5 standards because we don't know at what point is have you reached this? Because this is just you're constantly trying to get better. That makes it really hard to measure. And at what point is maybe you're trying to do too much with technology? Because there's a point where you might be trying to do that. So this is maybe the hardest of the standards to measure when it comes to the 5 Iste standards. But we have to be lifelong learners. In anything we do, and everyone can look at it, you have to be a lifelong learner. Like I said before, you have to stay relevant. Make your curriculum come to life, and technology is a way to make it come to life. And if you don't believe it, talk to your students. We must be willing to have trial and error. You have to be willing to make mistakes with technology. The first time you try something, it's not going to work. Not perfect anyway. Hopefully it works, but a lot of times it's not going to work. You're going to have to go back and say, all right, I'm going to have to go back and try this a different way again. So we got to have perseverance and that new word in education, grit. You have to have grit in trying these things because some of the stuff you're going to try may not work, and then you have to go find a new tool to try it with. That's what's important with this standard. We have to be the leaders when it comes to technology, the appropriate use of technology, and then the technology that we use. We are the leaders that are going to show these kids when they go to college what they should use. When they're in the college classroom, they're going, okay, I can use this app. This app helped me in high school. This app is going to help me in college. That's part of our leadership job and our leadership goal as teachers. It's part of service. Part of service can involve technology. Like I said, that'd be a cool community service thing is for you to help a business, learn how to use Google Docs within its business to make it run more efficiently. And overall, when it comes to this in the classroom, I think this is very relevant and this is very important. Like I said, it's the hardest to measure, but as a teacher, the stuff that the book talked about and all the 4 kind of indicators of this standard, they are relevant. We need to be doing these things because if we're not, we are not preparing our students to be 21st century learners, and we're not doing our jobs as teachers, and we're not doing our job as leaders to prepare these kids. Thank you.